Hello, this is Martin here from Seekedge, the channel for learning about trading and investment. Welcome to the new episode of Markets Tomorrow, the daily technical analysis show. And we are going to analyze August 13, 2021, Friday, right? So what do we do here? We analyze all of these parameters that you see on the left side, right, as part of the pre-market analysis. They're on the chart. In addition to that, we will look at more parameters like open interest for institutional participation, sectorial watch, and global commodities in the market, and we'll wrap up. Right. So before diving into that, if you're not subscribed, click the like button right away and share it to maximum number of people. We need more subscriptions, please. Okay. So without wasting time, let's get into the charts and see what happened today. So this is the Nifty 50 chart. What do you see here? So it's a it's a green bullish candle after a consolidation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 days, 5 days, right? In that 5 days, two green were there, but they were dodgy and decisive. So it is kind of a consolidation breakout that has happened, but it has not closed above the previous candles, but it's clearly a breakout that has happened on Nifty. So green clear, no? So that is what you see in the Nifty. Bank Nifty, what do you see here? It's still not there. The consolidation still not completed because this is a bearish candle that you see, the large one, and this is the inside bar. So it means consolidation seems to be continuing, right? Still there is some kind of triangular or flag kind of pattern, flag and pole kind of pattern that is there. So there is a potential that it can break out. Here also there is a flag kind of breakout which has just begun to break out again, say, right? It's not fully confirmed, but this is one green candle above after 5 days of consolidation is clear here. Here it is yet to happen, right? Because Bank Nifty didn't move much, right? Today it was only 130, so that's action. Let's see what happened in the small time frame today. So about 15 minutes of today's day. It was clear trending day, you can see, right? So it was trending up. Occasionally 2 o'clock it made a dip, little bigger dip, and then but it trended upwards to close it, right? So Bank Nifty did not trend too much. So you can see that the 36,000 is a big hurdle for the Bank Nifty, right? You can see that it halted just below the 36,000. So there is an interesting observation that you can see here. You can see that if you go to the weekly chart for the Bank Nifty, right? So this is the budget day candle that you see, the big 5,600 point candle. So after that you have a doji which closed above the 36,000, and after that this is 25 weeks is a V-shaped recovery, 25 weeks, and still today also it could not close more above 36,000. So that's 36,000 is a big hurdle since 25 weeks. Will we close it tomorrow or not? We'll have to see, right? But tomorrow is a week, end of the week. So there is a possibility because you have but it's an inside bar. Inside bar is normally a consolidation signal, right? And previous bar is a very bearish, open is good, high kind of bar. But there is consolidation, and it's not breaking down, right? So every time it dips, you can see that it's clearly it's getting the lift from the bulls. You can see the moves that happened at 230, right? So that move itself, if you look, it's it's a 200 point move that happened from the lower level. So there is a bull presence that can clearly be seen. Now go to the Nifty, you can see that it is clearly trending upwards, right? Nifty was clearly trending upwards for the whole day. Okay? There was a dip at 2 o'clock, but it was clearly trending. Bank Nifty, it was not trending, it was all sideways momentum, and it was not doing much, right? If you see that, it trended up and then consolidated and then made some dip, and then again the last after the 2 o'clock only, 2:30 only, it actually did some up move of 200 points, right? So Nifty was bullish and gained a No, 82 points to close it. Another all-time high. So it made a new all-time high at 375. So it's a new area, new territory, right? So the resistance of 275 is taken away. That is means there was a 16350 had a resistance that's gone. Now it is closed more or less near to that, but that resistance level is the fib extension retracement 50% level, right? So now the next target would be to 16500 kind of levels, right? So it's kind of also a rounding number. It's also a 61% fib extension, right? So if you look at that, below that you have the support levels as 950, no, 16,000 as a rounding number, good support, 5950 as a previous support, 950 to 850 that range, and then you have 15, 650, 500 that kind of range, and below that you have 250. So there are a lot of supports down there, so you don't need to go to there because you're already in the all-time high levels. So again, coming back to the resistance levels will be, since it's uncharted territory, we just have to look at the projection levels only. So 16500 may be the next resistance levels, right? Supports, right? The first support was 16,200 seems to be, but it was broken yesterday. So 16150 can be looked at as a support level, right? 150 to 200 that level, and after that it is 16,000, and then it is 5950 to 850 that's level. Supports, resistance. Bank Nifty 36,000 is the biggest resistance, right? After that 36,500 has to cross, and then all-time high was 37,700. Before that we have 37,000, which is a rounding number, right? And supports all remain the same. Right now also you can see that it is at a support zone, right? It is at hovering at a support zone, right? So that zone is, what is that, 35,600 to 35,850 kind of levels, right? That is where it is moving since the last so many days, 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is the 6th day that it has been, right? And sixth day, almost all the 5 days it has been hitting this upper bar of 36,127 and then coming back, right? So it had closed day wise, it has closed. Earlier what I was talking about was weekly it has never managed to close at 36,000, right? But daily, last week if you see, every time it has been hitting this resistance zone of 36,100 to, and then it's coming down, right? So resistance supports would be till 36,500, it has to be covered. So that is clear, right? Resistance support levels are clear. Now what else is remaining is Bollinger Bands. If you look at it, the volatility contraction, how is it? So you can see that there is a slight expansion that can be seen, but not at in the Bank Nifty. But look at Nifty, you can clearly see that it is walking on, it is near to the bands, and the volatility skews is over and it is expanding, right? So the Bank Nifty also is supposed to move like that upwards of the band. Only then you can say that the consolidation breakout has happened for the Bank Nifty, which is said to happen. But you can see that there is some volatility expansion that has happened, right? So that's about the Bollinger Bands. And then now let's look at what happened in the momentum. Nifty, the momentum for the daily, you can see that it is shooting up and it's clearly in the bullish zones. Bank Nifty, the momentum, you can see that it had slipped earlier and it has still not climbed the bullish zones. So it is not still, it has gone up today momentum, but it is still in the sideways. It does not, after it has slipped no sideways, it does not go back to the bullish zone. That is why the candles are showing that consolidation also, right? So the momentum is slightly yet to catch up in the case of Bank Nifty, and Nifty clearly bullish. Now this is the Adx trend, and then you can see that there is a bend that has happened. The trend has, strength of the trend has come down to 26 levels from the 30 levels earlier, but still it is in the bullish. It is not crossed over in the case of Bank Nifty. Now in the case of Nifty, you can see that the trend is up, strength is also rising up, and it is more bullish. Trend is Adx clearly indicating momentum, and trend is up. And for Bank Nifty, momentum is weak, trend is bullish, but slightly falling down strength, right? Momentum is sideways. So that's about all these parameters that we can see: trend, momentum, right? Support, resistances, Bollinger Bands, no, what the price action happened, candlestick patterns. You've seen all of them, right? It's a wide range. Here, this pattern is also a green candle, not a spinning low, but a small body with a wick which is large, which indicates bullishness. Otherwise, there is no specific. It's an inside bar also. Big candle inside that, then another small bar, right? And here it is some, there are some consolidation patterns of a rectangle. You can look at this as a rectangle formation consolidation which is breaking out, or you can look at it as a triangular formation. Right? So that's about that. Now that's about what we can see it on the. Now let's get into and see what is the open interest data, right? The futures open interest data. It has come for, well, yes. So yesterday it was short covering. Today also it is showing that it is short covering for the Nifty, right? For the futures open interest. Now here the open interest for futures in the Bank Nifty also it is showing short covering. Yesterday it was long unwinding. So short covering is that people who have gone long, means people who have gone short are now turning back to bullish, right? That's what short covering is. Short covering is, normally give a lot of movement, because panic, people who are gone short suddenly turning backwards, right? So that is what Bank Nifty you are seeing, short covering, and Nifty also you are seeing a short covering, right? Which means people are turning bullish. So open interest data for futures clearly showing that there is a potential for further move. Now today an expiry happened on 12th of August, so we'll have to look at the next expiry. So that is going to get accumulated from tomorrow, so it's not reliable, but still we are looking at that. But maybe not that. Tomorrow is Friday, the first day of the next expiry. So this chart is showing that the PCR is 1.42, which is bullish, right? Put call ratio is showing 1.42 is clearly bullish, and the highest put on this, the overall the chart is got highest writings on the put side. It means it's bullish again. That's at 16,300. Now where is the resistance highest? It is also at the same place, 16,300. So after that you have 16,400. Yeah, so the highest resistance call rating is not in 16,300, it is in 16,500. So 16,500 and 16,300. Put writing more is here, call rating more is here. So that is where the battle is going to happen most likely. So this open interest data, as per what is shown for the next expiry of 18th August, it is clearly bullish on Nifty. Bank Nifty, if you see, then this is bearish chart because the highest writing is happening. No, that is today's. It was, yeah, here also 36,000, as I said earlier. 36,000 is the biggest hurdle. That seems to be the highest call rating area, and after that you have 36,500 as highest put rating. Now the highest put rating also in 36. After that highest put rating, you can see that is at 250. Yeah, it's at 35,000 area. So right, so the PCR ratio is also not clearly bullish. 0.89 is not clearly bullish, neither it is bearish also, right? So overall Bank Nifty open interest data and the options also saying that it is not that bullish, but Nifty clearly it is saying it's very bullish for the next expiry, right? With the fight happening between 16,300 and 16,500 for the next week, right? Now what about the volatility? What VIX action? If you want to see, let's go to a line chart and see. You can see that the VIX has dipped to 12.37 from yesterday, right? So how much of fall is that? Right, we can clearly see that the VIX has fallen down nearly 3% of fall has happened. So today intraday, if you see, you can see that it is flat and then it dipped. So right, Nifty was flat and dipped, right? This is actually, so market is trending upwards throughout. If you see, even when the market is moving up, right? See that, even when the market is, so the 5 minute chart of Nifty, right? You can see that The market is moving trending upwards. Look at the VIX. 5 minutes of VIX is staying flat when the market is moving almost. Nothing is happening in the VIX. It is flat. And then even when the market is moving up, the VIX is, this is fine. Right? The market is moving up, VIX is falling is fine. Right? But the first half when the market is moving, it was not rising. Right? Price is increasing, but volatility is flat. This is intraday action of the volatility. So volatility remains with 12.37 the same. Right? Every time it gives a spike to 13 to 13.5, 14 range, and then again falls back to the 12, 11 kind of range. This is what is happening, right? So volatility, if the new volatility low regime continues as it is, absolutely no change with interim spikes, which creates a lot of jittery in the market, right? Now let us see the most interesting thing on who did the buying, right? So this is what it is showing, right? So Fyers today sold very likely 200 crores. DAs today bought 300 crores. So this is what is happening yesterday also. Last 3 days DAs are buying small. FSS sell hardly selling. They are not even selling. Very little. Buying also they did very little. So hardly anything is happening in the FIA side, in foreign institution side, but domestic institutions are also buying slightly. So, but the thing is, nowadays selling big is something good for the market. That's what is keeping the market up, right? So what else do we see? Sectorial watch. So in order to see the sectorial watch, we'll have to go to the heat map of Nifty, and then let's see what happened in the different segments here. So it's all bullish except pharma and telecom. Telecom, of course, Vodafone. So pharma is, as done by Dr. Reddy as Lupin, Cadillac, pharma, something has gone wrong. It is gone, except that all of them performed, right? So that's what it is. Let us give them the chart and see if we can get some more additional clues. Nifty ID again broke out in spite of the bearish divergence because the US dollar strengthening. IT stocks are breaking out like anything. Almost all the IT stocks are breaking out like anything, right? So all big move. You can see the entire index shot up, right? Shot up. Right? Today was 2% of up move, right, in the index itself. So big moves are happening continuously. It has been happening for, but what you had, this is purely based on the US dollar strengthening. That is what is happening. I would assume there is divergence that is there seen. So corrections can come in interim. Look at this divergence correction that came in. So if it moves vertically more, there is likely that correction. So divergence can be, momentum divergence can be seen. So but it is clearly bullish. Metal today, it seems to have done nothing much. Metal, but it has climbed back into the bullish on some yesterday's move, and metal is bullish. It is waiting for some further move is what we can make out from it, right? Right. So metal has got a no, yeah, it's clearly a breakout, right? So yeah, it had slipped, and there is some bearish divergence. That's why weekly, if you see, it dipped, but it is still not met the target of the bearish divergence. So there is a possibility that it can further go down, but yeah, you have to be cautiously bullish. But momentum has climbed back into this, and there is a chance that it can bounce from this support of the momentum of 60 level, right? So it's IT and metal can be cautiously bullish, and auto is sideways, but it has taken support at the 40 level in the momentum. So we can short term assume that it will not break down at least, right? But um, yeah, so there can be, if this momentum is not falling down below like it did earlier, previous weeks, it had a continuous 5-10 red candles. If it is not falling down again like this, and instead taking the support and then moving up, means Yeah, that is what it was ideally happen. So at least looks like it may not, because it did a bounce from here back. It's taken this support area and then bounced back. So most likely it is recovering is what you can assume, but not good time to take a trade. Pharma fall big again. Probably it may take the support here, but yeah, the bullish momentum was resistance, which is supposed to move has failed after taking a resistance at the momentum from 60 levels, right? So yeah, it's sideways. Yeah, FMCG also same sideways. Not trade breakout failed, and energy, I think it performed last 2 days. In reality is bullish. So you can see the wick hammer. So this is clear bullishness that you can see. It has come down and then bounced from here. So that's clear. Cup and handle kind of formation is probably what is happening. It could fall down up till here also sometimes. 344 kind of level also, and then bounce back. Still it is valid, but overall reality is bullish right now. We'll have to wait for the momentum to catch up, because the momentum is slipped to the sideways, and if it moves up back here to 60 levels, this can be, again all the reality stocks may be rallying. So that's real. Yeah, so that's a light and metal is what currently is bullish. Others are catching up at the sideways, right? Let's look at what happened in the USTINR, right? So that is the happening thing, right? The only sector that keeps the IT is, and it keeps the index steady is IT, right? If you look at, yeah. So today it was dollar has further become stronger, and rupee has weakened, and it is at a clear support band level, right? So this is a major support zone. So as long as this is not slipping downwards, it's fine, right? That's what is exactly happening. It is taking a support and hovering around this area, right? Now you can see that the DXY dollar is strengthening, right? It's a major resistance area, and from there, if it breaks out, then dollar will strengthen. Yeah, so the yield is going up. It's breaking out of a long channel on the daily. You can see that. That's the reason why dollar is strengthening. Um, yeah, Brent oil has come down and settled, is hovering around the 70 levels, but from yesterday it had a move upwards. It had fallen down to 68, 67 kind of levels, but again seems to have moved up. But looks like this is at a major level. 70 level is 69 to 70 level is kind of a major support zone. So as long as it hovers around that, it should be okay. Now, gold had made a drastic fall the other day. You can see the wick forming a hammer, right? Big fall, and then this indicates that there are a lot of buyers there who bought it, and gold shot back. But now it is at the previous resistance zone, right? This is a big resistance zone previous. It has to now, it had fallen off from there. Now to come back is not easy, right? You'll face the same resistance again, right? So there's a chance that it can come down also after facing it, or it can climb back, right? Either of that can happen, but it is well within the channel, right? When the dollar is strengthening, naturally gold will have some dip. That is probably what may be happening, right? But gold is an inflation hedge instrument, and as long as the economy is not recovered fully, gold will keep rising, is what the general assumption is, right? So now, yeah. So global markets, if you see, you can you can see that there is some mild reds, flat. All Nasdaq is mildly up, 30 points. Dow Jones is flat. S&P 500 is flat. UK markets also nothing, no big downward, up is there, right? So yeah, so just to wrap up, what we can see is today Nifty had performed well. Bank Nifty could not perform that much, but Nifty had broken out from a consolidation that happened for so many days. Nifty is, it still has not gained the momentum to, mm, although the trend is bullish. Just like Nifty is bullish on all, on the charts, on the operators, everywhere it is bullish, right? So as long as the market levels that we have discussed of 16,000 is not broken, long-term position players does not have to worry about anything. Even if it dips to 15,500, I don't think there's, that kind of correction also should be okay, right? But intraday, you can see that the VIX continues to play, with intraday traders. Right? You continue to have spikes in the VIX, and then today is an expiry exceptional day that, we had a trending day, but otherwise VIX spikes causing a lot of V-shaped movements last many days. We have to be clearly, trade only if there is good momentum, and only if it breaks the previous day's high, with a candle that closed above that, right? If you're going long, similarly going short also the same way. So, and you have to trail the stop loss, otherwise all the profit that you made when the market reverses, you lose it, right? So that's a kind of wrap up, that I would like to say. And stock wise, if you see that I had put them in the um, some of these trades has been published. You can see that HCL Technologies is doing good. There is a W pattern, right, which is breaking out, right? So that's published in trading also, you can say. So it has broken out of that, so that's a good trade that you can take. That's some actionable that you can take. So yeah, I hope this helps. This helps you to understand what actually happened, and reconcile with what happened in the market today, and also plan your trade for the next day better, right? It's your trade, your picks, but this gives you a perspective on what happened and what is likely, to happen, or more probabilities there for what kind of action. Accordingly, you can make your trade plan. I hope it helps, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe right away, and then share to, please share to maximum number of people. We have very low subscription, we need more subscription to keep ourselves motivated. Thanks for watching, and happy trading and happy